let's talk about Dog Island. So, you had an assignment to complete to decide if this was a real website or not. And so we're going to look at Dog Island. This right here gives you a lot of information. It tells you what the weather is like for today, statistics on who the dogs are that are there, what kinds. Here it gives you information about the dogs. Here's some dog products. We click on the link, and then there's another one about working. You can see that there are some products. Here's a shirt. Here's a leash, not the collar with it. There's a email to go to. There's information, some things about it. And then here's some information about if you'd like to work there. You can send your resume to this email. You can send your dog. Here's the information where you would give to send your dog. If it will load. There it goes. And then it talks more about it. It also talks about Vacation Island, as well as an email for imports. Here is island facilities, what they have on the island, the different types, different areas of islands. Here are some photos. Here are frequently asked questions. So there's lots of little things that people might ask that are answered on this site, as well as another email address. This talks about visiting. There are 3 days a year that you could visit. And there's also Vacation Island, which you can visit as well. It's free to send your dog, but there are rates for Vacation Island, and it's apparently very expensive, but you can get more information here. Here is the press. Here's a press release in a Word document. When you click on it, it opens up a Word document. Right here, the Village Voice, what they said about Dog Island. The Herald Sun, USA Today. See, when you click on the link, it takes you to USA Today. Let's go back to this link or this page. So there's a lot of things on this site. We already looked at products. Right here are directions. Because of recent threats, they actually made it a little bit more difficult to find out how to get there, so you can read exactly how to get there. Here is a map of the island. And it does say it's go to Tallahassee, and it's off the coast. Here's some company information. And then contact Dog Island. So here's where you can actually contact and figure it out. So in order to decide if this was real or not, you could have done a lot of things. You could have emailed these people to see what responses you were going to get. You could have read through everything to see if it sounded legitimate. You could have checked out all the little things that are on the page all the way down to the disclaimer. And if you had done a lot of these things, you would have found out some odd things. For example, where is the page about visiting? Is it under rates? No. Oh, it's under directions. So here are the maps and directions, and here's a map. Well, if you go to Google, you can Google, let's go to google.com. And we're going to type in Dog Island. So that's one way to first get some ideas. And looks like there are images for Dog Island, and they look real. As you go down, there are some other things about Dog Island that you can click on to read. Right here it talks about in Wikipedia. We talked about that Wikipedia May not be completely true, but it does have a lot of truth in it, so it's not something to just overlook. You can also look at a map for Dog Island. And when you look at the map, it's being super slow, as you can tell. When you look at this map of Dog Island, it looks a lot different than the map they showed us, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. So what can you do? You can go to Google Images and you can go and pull the picture. So hold it down, drag it to Google Images. It won't let me on here. It's what using the MacBook does, I guess. Let's see if it let me do it. No, it did not. All right, so let's do this. New on a new window. There we go. So let's try this now. So if I take the picture and I drag it, I can actually drop it into Google Images. Let's try to use Google for it. Google Chrome, that is. So let's go to Google Images. And let's try to drag and drop it this time. You're going to drop it in that bottom part. It really does not like me tonight. Okay, let's try one more thing. Let's open it both in Google Chrome. There we go. So when you're using Google Chrome, see, I like Google Chrome so much better. You drag the picture from one site, just the picture. You just grab it, hold it down, and drag it. And when you drop it into the Google image search bar, it comes up with Chesapeake Bay, Smith Island, Maryland. Well, that's interesting. So Smith Island, Somerset County, Maryland. Well, how do we know that's real? So let's look up Smith Island, Maryland. If I can type tonight. And let's look up at a map. And when you zoom out, this looks very similar to this. And this is the real map. So you can see that someone actually took this map and just put it into Dog Island. So that's one way you can tell that Dog Island certainly doesn't seem to be real. If you read some of the things that they say, it seems not very legitimate. And then at the very, very bottom, when you click on disclaimer, this site was made in jest, for fun, for love of dogs, and for love of life. You are to take no action, make no decisions based on the content of this website. In other words, we are not responsible for anything you do. If I can make this any clearer to you, I would. You can't blame us for anything. You can't be mad at us for anything. The only point for you on this website is to enjoy yourself, and if you don't enjoy yourself, you absolutely cannot blame us for this lack of enjoyment. It is completely your fault. We are selling nothing. We want nothing. Not your personal information, not your credit card, not your dog, not your money, nothing. We have asked you for nothing. We will continue to ask you for nothing. So please make sure to not give it to us, as we will not accept it. To all friendly, kind, loving people who don't find a need to blame other people for any and everything, thank you for your time. Sorry if you read this and felt unloved. We love you. So this was actually made by a group of students in a class to actually check out to see if it would be real or not. If people would believe it was real, if people would decide to try it out. Snopes.com is another thing that I will go to a lot of times to figure out if things I see online are real or not, if I can't dig around like I just did. And Snopes.com actually has a Dog Island link and of information. Snopes is very reliable. They look up their information. I actually sent something to Snopes.com for them to search and research, and they actually did and figured out that it was not real. This right here says that Dog Island is false. So Snopes is actually telling us that too, and tells us that it was a class that did it. So it was a hoax. So you can kind of see that there are lots of hoaxes, and you have to be really careful to figure out what is real and what is not. Obviously, it seemed that Dog Island was kind of far-fetched, but who knows? There are a lot of people who have different ideas in the world, so you just never know. Now, your assignment for today is in a separate video. If you all have time to work on it and have time to finish the video, we will not actually look at, you will have time to finish it on Monday, so do not stress out over it. But I do want you to watch the video and kind of start looking at the other websites. So now you'll stop this video and play the next video for the assignment.